I'm a fat, old, black ass nigga. Looks matter. They matter. I just turned 40 this past month.
Hi people, thank you so much for stopping by. If you're coming across my channel for the very first time, thank you so much. Please consider subscribing. To my returning subscribers, you guys are amazing and I believe we are all doing fine. So in our today's conversation is about this video I want you guys to watch.
I'm a fat, old, black ass nigga. Looks matter. They matter. I just turned 40 this past March, and one of my biggest regrets is not realizing just how important looks are and how much your appearance matters in this world. Human beings are naturally superficial. It's a part of our biology. It's ingrained in us. We can't help it. We are biased toward treating people who look good better. It's just the facts of life. The faster you realize this and the faster you accept this, the better off you will be in the long run. There are a lot of aspects about yourself that you can't change, but the ones that you can, change them as quickly as possible while you are still young and you have the energy, the flexibility, the agility, the time, and the resources to really work on yourself and your appearance. I'm working on my stuff right now as we speak. I've had a number of health setbacks over the years, but I can tell you that getting on social media and seeing all the reactions that I have gotten to my appearance, not that it has had a psychological impact on me in a way, because I'm fundamentally aware of the fact that, I'm overweight. But I think for me, it was kind of bittersweet just seeing the reaction, because it's like you just realize that as human beings, we just can't help but to be judgmental and to be superficial. And there's no use in trying to fight that. And if you really want to mitigate the stress of constantly worrying about your appearance, work on it. Because it is a fixable issue for most people. For the vast majority of people, it's fixable. You just got to work on it. You just got to take the time, sit down, do your due diligence, and put in the time and effort to really work on your appearance and how you want others to perceive you. Physically, that is. Now, your personality, it's a whole different story. I'm only talking about looks in this particular context. So that being said, if you're in your 20s, you're in your 30s, while you still have the energy, while you still have the time, because you may not have kids and a wife yet, please work on yourself. And even after you have kids and a wife, still work on yourself. Work on yourself. Keep up with your appearances, because people are going to judge you whether you want them to or not. So it's just facts of life. There's no use in complaining about it. There's no use in trying to, make videos on TikTok trying to get other people to, rally against, body shaming, or we got to be more blah, blah, blah. No, just stop. There's no point. It is what it is. Looks matter.
The man is 100% right. Because looks do matter in life, because love at first sight doesn't happen based on your personality, but based on your first looks. The first time you meet someone, the first thing you have to notice is the way they look, from head to toe. So I feel as well looks are very important. Anyway, a lot of people stitched this video, so I'll let the stitches play, then at the end I'll leave my own comment, so please stick around.
One of my biggest regrets is not realizing just how important looks are and how much your appearance matters in this world.
So being on social media the past few years and having quite a bit of my content go viral every now and again, and with people kind of recognizing me every now and again when I go out, I quickly came to realize that, yeah, what I say is important, but people stop and look at my video because of the way that I look. Pretty attracts people. People are just attracted to what they consider pretty. And all my life, I've used my pretty privilege to my gain, of course. Like, I'd be crazy not to. I'm not unaware of my pretty privilege giving me jobs, opportunities, putting me in rooms, even to allow me to even have a social media page You know, it's because of the way I look. So I've used my looks for my own gain my entire life. And I remember when I was younger, I had a youth pastor who asked my youth group, which is pretty much all young women, he asked us, how can you use the way that you look to serve God? And we had never heard that before. So no one was really able to give a good answer. And I never understood that. And that question always stuck in my mind until literally just recently. It just recently clicked for me that the way that I look is not an accident. God made me look this way so that I could be attractive to people and then point them to Him. Right. So He's allowed me to have a social media page. He's allowed me to have a podcast. He's allowed me to look this way so that I can be a voice, so that people can be first, you know, they might be attracted to how I look, but now I'm talking about God and you're going to hear about God from me. So I've just recently understood like my looks can serve God because it's going to be like a magnet to people. People are going to draw near to me because of how I look. And I'm pointing you towards God. Like, it's all a channel. And it's just so crazy that, like, years later, I really understood what He was trying to tell us. Like, yeah, you're pretty, sis. Like, you're beautiful. But make sure you're using that for God. So, you know, dress modestly. You know, always just be something to where people look at you and they want to be next to you because looks are very important. But just make sure that you're always pointing them towards God. Like, that's your job with your looks. It's crazy.
I'm a fat old black ass nigga. Looks matter. They matter.
As someone who's lost 125 pounds, I can tell you with absolute certainty that pretty privilege is a real thing. Life at 245 pounds is a whole lot different than life at 120-ish, 25 pounds, depending on the week. People are so much nicer to you when you are conventionally attractive. And I lived it. I lived it at work. I lived it personally. I lived it through relationships. People compliment you when you're attractive, which, okay, that makes sense. If someone thinks you're attractive, they're going to say something nice to you. But imagine going through life and getting no compliments. Pretty hard on your self-esteem. The creator, I mean, he's right. He's absolutely right. Looks matter. And as much as we as humans want to say they don't, that's a lie. And there are sociological studies to prove it. If you look up like attractiveness in the workplace, and I think for women in particular, this is like more potent than with men. Like men, looks, if you're smart, you're probably fine. But women, our looks in particular, open doors that probably wouldn't otherwise be opened.
Looks matter. They matter.
Literally did not realize this until I was 20, 21 years old. Story time. So it's 2020 and it's the pandemic. I was shut in the house, was locked in the house. So I'm like, well, let's address the elephant in the room. You know, let's try to, you know, lose some weight, change, you know, our diet, eating habits, stuff like that. So boom, I lose some weight during the pandemic. And, you know, I was showered with compliments from family and, you know, family friends and stuff like, oh, you know, we're proud of you. You did it, da 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 da. Which was the first time that I was actually showered by compliments by my family for anything that I did, despite, you know, other stuff I've done. So January 2021, I started school, and for the summer of 2021, I had this like job at a catering place or whatever. You know, after that job, I leave. Fast forward to 2022, I get another job. It was a part-time job at a coffee shop. The worst job I ever had in my fucking life, and I was working full-time hours, even though it was part-time. You know, I was heavily like mistreated by managers, by other coworkers that I did nothing to. It had to be because I was black, because there was nothing else there. I mean, the weight was off, you know, so I mean, there was nothing for them to really judge on. It was just me being black, pretty much. And this fucked up job that I was at, which I stayed way too long, it led to me like being depressed, and it led to me gaining some of the weight back because I was, you know, eating to, you know, distract from the pain. And I kid you not, a family member that I hadn't seen in like a year or so comes to town to visit, and the first thing that they say is a comment about my weight, which, you know, it looking in retrospect, it wasn't even that big of a deal, but it was, because weight was the last thing on my mind. And I literally had put on, this was the beginning, I put on a couple pounds, like nothing crazy, nothing, you know, ridiculous. Like I didn't gain 50 fucking pounds overnight. And that's when I learned, like, and mind you, I'm in school, like I have a job, like I'm trying to do the right thing, I'm trying to progress my life, but nobody gave a fuck about any of that. They only give a fuck about what you look like to them, and if you are good looking to them, and they treat you like a number on the scale, or, you know, if you weren't blessed with a good physical appearance, they treat you like a monster. So that is when I learned looks matter. Being a good person doesn't fucking matter. I was taught, you know, if you be a good person, it'll take you far, and that looks aren't everything, but that's a fucking lie. Being a good person won't get you shit, period.
I'm a fat old black ass nigga. Looks matter. They matter.
I used to be very unattractive. I had horrible skin, which I'm working on my skin, and I had an overbite out of this world. It was bad, and as an ugly woman turned into a beautiful woman, looks matter, especially for women. When you are an ugly female, when you're an ugly woman, society will not hesitate to let you know that they think you're ugly. They will let you know that you don't deserve to be in certain rooms. You don't deserve to be conversed with. They will close doors in your face when they see you walking. They will disrespect you, and nobody will have your back because you're ugly and you have no worth, apparently, to be treated and deemed respectful. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care how funny you are. I don't care how much money you have. Especially if you're ugly and you don't have the quote-unquote nice personality, you'll be in for a rude awakening. I suffered so much torment because society told me that I did not fit certain beauty standards based on what society says is attractive. Looks are extremely important. They will not keep you in rooms, but they will get you there. Okay? Looks matter, period. This is why women get upset and try to compete with younger women, because the looks matter. Take the time to learn how to do your makeup, to learn how to wear hairstyles that suit you, whether they be natural or whether they be some wigs. Learn to do your makeup. If you need to get braces, get braces. If you need to get your teeth whitened, if you need to lose weight, if you need to be, they matter. They matter. And having been an individual who has been ostracized for being unattractive, you can see the difference when you step into being attractive. You can see the difference of how you're being treated. You see doors being open for you. Doors don't somehow get shut in your face. Elevator doors don't shut on you. People don't disrespect you by calling you ugly or trying to go out their way to let you know that you're not worth anything because they think you're ugly. People will hate on you, especially if you know that you're beautiful. But when they try to call you ugly, it'll never hit the same because you know it's a lie. Looks matter. Looks will get you in the door. Personality, spirit, and heart will keep you in the room.
Looks matter. They matter. I just turned 40 this past March, and one of my biggest regrets is not realizing just how important looks are and how much your appearance matters in this world.
I love how real this man kept it in his video and just called it what it is. Like, people are judgmental, people are superficial, and your looks matter, whether or not you're a man or a woman. Here's a before picture of this guy. Very nice looking guy, right? And he still pretty much looked the same. He just didn't put on weight. If he dropped that weight, he could very much well get back to looking like this picture. This is where delusion and reality have to meet, right? A lot of y'all are stuck in this delusional land where you believe that you can put on weight, you can stop taking care of yourself, your hygiene can fall off, you can go have all of these different kids with all these different people, you can stop making the money or never make the money, and that people are going to see you as a desirable option on the dating scene. That's not how this works. And your feelings don't matter in this situation. The truth is going to be the truth. And the truth is, man or woman, the better of a catch you are physically, mentally, financially, when it comes to kids, less baggage, the better options you're going to have to pick from because you have more people who are going to want you. I have to continuously remind myself that a lot of y'all take on this alter ego, or you just say anything in comment sections, even when you know it's not true, right? You live your life on a day-to-day basis. You know, just like I know, the stuff you said in my comment section ain't true. A lot of y'all are not the type of men who financially have gotten to a point where you make so much money that even though your looks done fell off, you can compensate it and attract younger, hot girls with the money. A lot of y'all, you're not there financially. You work a minimum wage job, and that's no shade, but you don't make the type of money to get the type of girls that you would want. And you know that, and I know that. It don't matter how bad you cap in my comment section about how you think you've held up over the years and how many girls you can get. You know how many messages you done sent that's sitting on red right now. You know how dry your phone is. And you know that the women that are in your phone are not the women that you actually want. It's just the women that you can attract at the level that you at right now. You know that, and I know that. Don't matter what you say in my comment section, your real life is always going to override those comments. Sitting up and continuously using men who are exceptions to the rule to make up for your shortcomings is not going to get you nowhere. Bringing up men who have aged like wine, bringing up men who in top 1% when it comes to finances, those men aren't you though. You can keep bringing them up, but it's irrelevant and it's a moot point when you don't fall in the category of those men. So it doesn't matter. The red pill sold y'all a lie. It's a man myth. And they did y'all a huge disservice by making you delusional and believing that you were the men who were aging well, or that you were the men whose finances were so good that you could buy the girls that you wanted. It's not a real thing. If women wanted to pay men to be with them, they could. But it would be looked upon very poorly, right? But y'all men have normalized paying to play when it comes to these young girls. That don't mean the young girls like you. That don't mean you ain't getting played by the young girls. But you paying to play. If women wanted to pay to play, they could do it. And some women do. Look at Cher. Cher paying to play because she know the game. If she want a young dude, she got enough money that she can pay one to tolerate her. There's several women, Madonna done it. There's several women who know that they can pay to play if they want to. So the way y'all have normalized it as men as a collective, shout out to y'all. But don't sit up and ever lie and think anybody believes the fact that you think that you can get away with life and the wall. It's undefeated, man or woman. If you don't take care of yourself, your finances, your looks, managing how many kids you have with different people, you're going to be a poor option and nobody's going to want you on the dating scene.
Well, I feel his pain because people don't see your energy or your action before they see you. That's why I second him. Looks are very important. They are the very first introductions. Looks grab the attention first for that person to get a chance to know your energy and your action. Looks are extremely important. I feel it's more even important for women than men. Why do I say so? It's because sometimes men have money. Looks matter a lot no matter how careless we become. It affects us in one way or the other. I remember how my mom always told me looks matter. Stay in shape, eat healthy, exercise, smell good, and as a woman, make sure your hair is done always. And also she told me never let go of yourself, no matter how much money you have. People treat you the way they see you. This has helped me a lot to maintain myself. So anyway, guys, tell me as well what you think in the comment section below about this whole situation. Thank you so much for being part of this conversation. See you in the next video and stay safe.